As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Baker Mayfield.
Ooh, he looked good.
He looked good.
Efficiency.
Efficient, 8 of 9 for 63. Had a really nice touchdown pass to that back corner of the end zone. You know, I kind of approached this, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way about it. Like, if he doesn't win this starting job over Kyle Trask, it may be his last real opportunity for a starting role in the NFL. And I think he went a long way in doing that. I know it's one preseason game, but Trask, 6 of 10, had the interception, didn't look nearly as good as Baker Mayfield.
Didn't
Uh,
look mobile either.
yeah,
Trask, yeah, he looked a little slow footed to me. And he took a couple sacks. It's kind of hard to tell, but he didn't look sharp to me. Now, I'm I'm also very pro Baker in the whole thing. I mean,
right.
let's be
And I
real.
don't, and who knows what the rotation was on the offensive
Right.
line and receivers and all that stuff. But all of that being said, Baker still looked really sharp. Um, I guess Trask is going to get the next start, is what they said. They're going to
That
rotate.
that was the plan, right? That they came in to the preseason with, that Baker was going to start the first, Trask was going to start the second. There's just no doubt though that Baker's in the lead in that race right now.
It looks good. Do you agree with that? You think this is kind of his last opportunity to get a starting gig?
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
I think that's why he's in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think he may have been able to even get more money and be a backup somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right? I think he went to Tampa because they were going to give him a legitimate chance to start at quarterback. And if you're Tampa, like, hey, if Baker looks great, then you're feeling really good about it. And if it goes poorly, then there are a couple of really, really good quarterbacks in the next draft.
Yep. I agree. Looking good for Baker. Still got some really nice weapons to throw to.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure about his offensive line, but pulling for him.
Did you see that picture of him in the locker room?
Yes.
He's just like looking back at the camera. I was like, is the swag back? Is he back? He may be back.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's he's one of the most entertaining players to watch when he's got it going.
That's, and obviously the relationship we have with him, the OU connection, right? That certainly skews our whole view on this entire thing. But the NFL is more fun when he's playing, man. It just is.
Yep.
The key, it's about the football, it's about winning the line of scrimmage, but it's entertainment.
Yep.
And he is, as a player and as a person, like, he's just wildly entertaining. I think the NFL is a more entertaining product when he's playing and playing well. So
I love
that's
the
my hope.
NFL. I think the NFL is excellent. I think the product is really good, but it's such a big business, and the pressure to perform and the pressure to win is so intense, and the size of the contracts is so big that it's really sanitized a lot of the game of like personality, if that makes sense. And when Baker's out there, and he's performing well and has it going on, you get a sense that that personality is there in the league a little bit more.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, who is your loser of the weekend?
Now, I'm getting stronger and stronger behind this. Georgia. And I'll tell you why. Stetson Bennett goes out and looks pretty daggum good in a preseason game with the Rams. 191 yards, had a really nice touchdown pass. And I know everyone in Georgia still considers him to be just a guy and, just some junior college transfer, no big deal. Won 2 national championships for him. They couldn't replace him. But Georgia's going to replace a quarterback easy. It's no big deal, even though there's no history of them doing it at all. And Alabama is in serious trouble because they've got to replace a quarterback, even though they've done exactly that like 5 or 6 times in a row and continued to have success. But Georgia, it's just going to be seamless. No problem offensively. We're next quarterback, next man up.
I did college sports radio on Sirius XM with Jacob Hester on Friday, and we had Aaron Murray, the former Georgia quarterback, on. He essentially makes it sound like Carson Beck can walk on water.
We'll see.
He said, and remember, Aaron's got, I think he still has like all the SEC passing records. We're the same age. He basically said Carson Beck is like, it's not even close, the most talented guy they've had since Stafford. So, and I basically asked him, hey, what are the holes on this team? He was like, they don't have holes. I was like, okay, awesome. Talk. He was, I mean, just raving about the wide receiving core, made it sound like Carson Beck is going to be the absolute truth. There's some questions at running back, but he's like, hey, it doesn't matter. They got 4 guys that, can get it done. They may not have a superstar like they've had here recently, but he's like, yeah, no issues. Offensive line's supposed to be absolute, maybe the best in the country. I think Georgia's going to be fine, man.
I'm not buying it.
Okay, I like it.
I'm not buying it. They're going to have to prove it to me. I think their schedule's actually bad for them, even though it's easy. I don't think that's necessarily a good thing for them. And hey, I'm more than willing to be proven wrong by the Beck kid at Georgia who could walk on water. But in my experience, that has not been the case there. So we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. It would bring a little more intrigue to college football if Georgia lost a game or two this season.
Yeah.
Let's spice it up a little bit.
Let's spice it up. 3 in a row it's
boring.
It's boring. And
does anyone, other than Georgia fans, does anyone want to see Georgia go 3 in a row? I don't know. No. It's boring.
What if your options are Georgia goes 3 in a row or Alabama wins the title? What do people say about that?
I don't, now that OU is going to be the SEC, is there a good option between those 2 choices?
I don't know. Tennessee, I don't even know if that's a good option. LSU, I don't know if that's a good option.
It's just going to be a different
Let's
world,
go,
man.
Ohio State. Let's go.
Come on, Buckeyes. Or hey, you never know what happened with the Sooners.
Yeah.
No, we're going to have to see a little bit.
We'll cross that road if we get there, right?
Yeah, we're going to have to see a little bit after what we went through a year ago. All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first,
John Vance Auto Group has been serving Oklahomans for 40 years. Family owned and operated. They have 9 full service dealerships in Woodward, Miami, and Guthrie. No matter what your vehicle needs are, John Vance Auto Group has you covered. They carry domestic brands such as Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, and Wagoneer. John Vance Auto Group's goal is to give unequaled service and to exceed customers' expectations in every way, which is why they have their lifetime loyalty program. And here's how it works. You can buy a new or used car from them. Then all you have to do is get all of the manufacturer recommended maintenance done at the Vance dealership. And if something goes wrong with the components of your engine, transmission, drive, axle, or transfer unit, they will cover the repair costs. It's a great deal. You can browse their entire inventory or find the John Vance dealership near you at vanceautogroup.com.
And First Fidelity Bank is a full-service financial institution based in Oklahoma with tailored solutions for all your personal and business needs. Checking accounts, saving accounts, home loans, and much more. They do it all. Whether it's online banking from your computer or mobile banking from your phone, everything is stress-free with FFB. Making mobile deposits, paying bills online, and moving money to different accounts could not be easier. Come on, people. Make your life easier and go bank with First Fidelity Bank. Visit ffb.com for more information. All right, for my winner of the weekend, thought about going with Johnny Manziel. There's a lot of Manziel content right now, right? Netflix documentary about him, just a lot of discussion. Some of the stories in there are great. Not a documentary with what I would call a happy ending. Just kind of like, yeah, nothing's really changed about the guy. And I don't know. Did you watch it? Have you watched it yet?
I have. Yeah.
Very entertaining.
Very entertaining. And you know what I kind of came away with? And I don't know that this is necessarily good or bad. It's that Manziel never really wanted to be a famous football player. He just wanted to party. and he happened to beat Alabama and get thrown into the national spotlight. And it's like my uh, the gig is up here. Everyone knows what's going on. I just want to have fun. I'm not into studying football and becoming the best player in the world. I just want to go out there, have fun, wing it. If we win, we win. What was it? If we win, we party. If we lose, we party. There was some
Oh yeah,
nice way of stating it, but that's kind of what I took away. It's like he never really wanted that spot.
he's a different guy, right? And so I was his second year in Cleveland. I was there for a week, and he was the last guy in the building. But he was so nice and so fun to be around. And he had a great personality, but I just had never seen a quarterback not care. And to his credit, him being a nice dude, he invited me to go out every night I was there. He was great. He was really nice, but it was, and this is something a lot of people don't realize when it comes to, because a lot of people want to blame the Cleveland Browns. Like if he would have gone somewhere else, it would have been different, right? Mm-hmm. You got to realize the guy, when that week I was there, the guys on that offense with him, Josh McCown, who is one of the toughest and best, just men, like one of the best leaders I've ever been around. The guy is just a leader of men.
Super experienced, been in the game forever.
Forever.
Great.
He's in the quarterback room with Johnny.
Yeah.
Can't get him to care. You look at that offensive line. Joe Thomas, Hall of Famer. Alex Mack, future Hall of Famer, I think. Mitchell Schwartz is the right tackle. Guy who was just a relentless preparer. Ends up being an all-pro once he made it to Kansas City. Like Andrew Hawkins was one of the wide receivers on that team. He's like one of the coolest and nicest and best leaders I've ever been around. You know who was in OTAs with him? Brian Hartline. Like the dude was surrounded on that offense by some of the best players and best leaders I came across in my football career. And none of those guys could get him to give a shit. And they tried. I've talked to Joe about it. Like they tried. The 1 week I was there, we won. We went into the locker room, or we went into the equipment room after the game and took a bunch of tequila shots. That's a true story. He was a great time, man, but he did not give a flip about anything, man. It was crazy.
Self-sabotage. It would be a lot easier on me if I wasn't here. So I'm just going to do the bare minimum or less until they get rid of me.
Yeah. If you haven't watched it, I don't want to tell all the stories in it because go watch it. I'm hoping my man Manziel gets a cut of however many times it gets watched. I don't know how that works.
I'm sure he does, right?
So go watch it. If you don't watch it with your kids. the pro day stories, that is, those are awesome.
Pro day, combine.
Yeah, we're the same age.
Signing like the NCAA thing. And
one more story. When we played each other in the Cotton Bowl, right? The year you won the Heisman. It was, I can't remember the date of the game. It was like the 3rd or 4th or something, but New Year's, we spent New Year's in Dallas. Like, and we all went out and stuff. And one of the guys from A&M told me that like hotel security had to wrangle Manziel. He was running around their team hotel completely naked.
Yeah.
Just gone. Just obliterated.
I heard the same exact story.
It's got to be true.
Schmitty told me.
I never asked him about it, but there's zero doubt after watching the documentary. It's got to be true.
Yeah. Because you guys stayed at the
we were way far away.
You stayed at the Gaylord, right?
Yep.
I think I stayed there like the night before the game, and whenever I got there, I was talking to Schmitty, and he was telling me the story about it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I heard it from like 3 different guys on A&M's team. So but then a couple nights later, we all saw what he did to our defense.
Dude, that's like one of the greatest performances I've ever seen.
It was amazing.
He didn't have an incompletion in the second half. The only one he hit his receiver in the face mask with the ball after scrambling around for like 30 seconds. And
And
the guy dropped it.
and he did all that. You probably didn't watch a single snap of our defense get ready for the
No.
game.
Well, other than whenever maybe his eyes happened to be open in the film room, but he didn't watch any on his own.
Yeah. Oh, what an amazing
It's like
talent.
it's almost like the water boy. Remember whenever Lawrence Taylor and they're doing the linebacker camp, it's like, so how do you do it? Well, when they snap the ball, I try and tackle that guy. And then if he hands it to someone else, then I go and try and tackle him. It's like Manziel. When they give me the ball, I throw it to the open guy or I go try and run.
Which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Holds up.
All right. My winner of the week, though, I'm going Michigan. A lot of hype around the Wolverines this season. Number 2 in the preseason poll. Right. They beat the hell out of Ohio State 2 years in a row, been to the playoff. Some people think this may be the year. Hey, they take the next step playing the title game. But there was a question mark, right? Because Jim Harbaugh was going to be suspended for the first 4 games because of the NCAA investigation and him not being completely truthful with the investigators. How is that going to affect the team? Well, don't have to worry about it anymore, apparently, because Dan Wetzel from Yahoo said that suspension, whatever deal was there, is off. And that case is going to go to the NCAA Committee on Infractions and will likely be dealt with next year. So, Harbaugh, all the expectations, all the hype for this Wolverines team going into the season, going to be there to coach every single game. Feels like a win for the Wolverines to me.
So in court, Harbaugh and Michigan stood up and tore up the plea deal with the prosecution, and we'll see you guys in court.
Yeah. I don't exactly know how it went down. Didn't see that in the report, but yeah, there is an absolutely hilarious quote from, and listen to this title, NCAA Vice President of Hearing Operations, Derek Crawford. Quote, the Michigan infractions case is related to impermissible on and off campus recruiting during the COVID-19 period and impermissible coaching activities. Not a cheeseburger. That's a real quote. Oh,
I don't know. Is the cheeseburger the impermissible off-campus recruiting? That's what it is.
Yeah, there is
so,
a cheeseburger is involved, Derek.
Sorry, Derek. You're wrong.
You're wrong. Mama's right. I've just got the water boy in my head. But it would be quite the baller move for Harbaugh if he took Michigan to a national title and then took an NFL job. And he was like, hey, I'll see those NCAA sections later. See you, boys. I'm out of here.
That would be awesome. Hey, delay, stall, do whatever you got to do. If this is the year, go out there, get it done, and we'll deal with that later.
Yeah. Do not cooperate. Cool. That's all I know. All right, for my loser of the weekend, thought about going with Bryce Young. I watched every snap he played in their preseason game against the Jets. He didn't play a ton of snaps, but the dude got blasted like 4 times.
Yeah.
And I saw some quotes from the Panthers offensive line after the game. It sounded like they had a come to Jesus meeting after the game. And because it was not good. And all we got to do is wait till Tuesday night. We get to see it on Hard Knocks. Let's go.
I can't wait for that.
It's going to be fantastic.
I saw someone posted a clip from practice one day, and it said pray for Bryce Young because he drops back to pass and has to all 4 offensive linemen lose, and he's dodging guys back there. It's going to be tough.
There were durability concerns, right? Because of the size.
That is not a good combination.
Yeah. Well, he popped up every time against the Jets, man. That Jets defensive line. Whew.
Yeah. Wait till that happens 4 weeks in a row in the preseason, and then they're like, okay, here's game 1 of 17.
Good luck.
Hammered for 4 weeks.
Yeah. They need to get some stuff figured out. There's no doubt about it. He can't. I mean, because a couple of them he just got blasted, dude. So they'll go back to the drawing board, I assume, try to try to iron out some of those wrinkles. All right, but my loser of the weekend, I didn't know whether to go with the 76ers or James Harden, but I'm going to go Harden because remember, he is in a little. How about a little NBA news in August? I
Love
love
it.
the NBA,
Let's
but
go.
I'm just very intrigued by this storyline because Harden told the 76ers, like, hey, I want to be traded and I want you to trade me to the Clippers. Well, over the weekend, the 76ers was like, yeah, we've tried to find somewhere to send you. We're certainly not sending you to the Clippers. None of this really makes sense for us. So, hey, we'll see you at training camp, bud. And I guess people in Harden's camp are saying he has no interest in being in training camp with the 76ers. Like he wants to be traded. I just love me some NBA drama. Is he going to show up or not? Is he going to be, because what is that? That's like next month, late next month. Like the NBA season's right around the corner. Also, is he going to show up at like 300 pounds like he did back in Houston? Remember that whole thing? I don't know. I find it incredibly intriguing when a star player says, I want to be traded. And the team goes, how about not?
If I'm Philly, I'm like, this is awesome. This is great. We'll just like send him a letter telling him when training camp starts and like dot all the I's and cross our T's in that regard. And we'll just fine him all the way through the season. And financially could end up being a pretty lucrative deal for us.
Yeah. I Daryl Morey is a guy that, and that's the frustrating part, right? Is because Morey did everything for Harden in Houston, like built the whole thing around him, and just I'm excited to see where this goes because it doesn't seem like it's going to end well.
No, and how could it? Harden has, I mean, as much money as he's made, it doesn't seem like he's been really dialed in for quite some time, right? They had a couple of runs there at Houston where he was trying to win a championship. And then it was like, okay, I tried. They're going to pay me 50 million no matter what I do. So I'll just kind of hang out at strip clubs and eat wings and not really care. And in his defense, it really hasn't affected the bottom line at all. He's still making an absolute ton of money. And it's just going to take a team just to say, okay, he's not at training camp. All right, we'll just continue to fine him, take it out of his pay, and whatever. Don't even try to contact him or negotiate or anything. Just keep fining him.
Yeah, it's fine. I for one am shocked that a guy that has forced his way out the last two places he's been is doing it again. Stunning turn of events.
Well, there's been so many teams that have folded in these negotiations that there's no fear for any of these players contract wise to not basically operate as if they don't have a contract,
Yeah.
And I don't know what their rules are for finding those guys for not showing up through training camp or like weigh-ins and all of that stuff. I know in the NFL, it can get absolutely detrimental very, very quickly for guys if they want to hold you to that, but they typically don't. They want to work something out.
I think my last year, and I was never a guy that got fined for being over, being under weight wise. I did not make enough money to not make weight. But I think my last year, it was $550 per pound per day.
Per day, yep.
So if you were 3 pounds over, that was a $1,500 fine and some, and some change, right? And then if you didn't make weight the next day, it was the same fine. Just kept going.
Well, when I was in Detroit, Sean Rogers was there.
Oh boy. Large man.
They wanted him at like 360. And I think he showed up at like 385 or 390. And we all were like putting pen to pad on it, and it's like, oh my God. Like, what? I don't think they fined him the full amount, but I think they fined him like you can find like the first weigh in if you miss it. I think there's like an initial fine, and then it's like the per weigh in fine. So, oh my God, that's incredible. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know what the NBA's standard is though.
That'd be hilarious if Harden like loses all of his salary this season off weight fines.
Weight fines
I don't even
and
know if that's a thing in the NBA, but it'd be
they could,
hilarious if it was.
but they could fine him for that. Fine him for every meeting he misses, every workout he misses. Like, it could become. I know he's going to get 45 million, but they could chew into that weekly check pretty decently.
Yeah.